Stephanie White's a bum and needs to be fired. That's what's going on. Did y'all see the interviews today? Sophie Cunningham just exposed Stephanie White. Flat out exposed.
Sophie Cunningham just turned the entire situation into a season-ending cliffhanger, coming to Caitlin Clark's defense while openly questioning Stephanie White's coaching decisions as if she had been waiting for the perfect moment to speak out. With one bold statement, Cunningham dragged the problems people had been quietly discussing into the public eye. Questionable rotations, underused talent, and a system that seemed so disorganized it could make a chaotic group project look professionally managed. This wasn't simply Cunningham showing support for a teammate. It felt more like a direct challenge, delivered with confidence, attitude, and a clear go-ahead, test me mentality. Suddenly, the WNBA feels less like a traditional professional sports league and more like a high-stakes reality show. Only this time, the drama is real, the pressure is intense, and the consequences actually matter.
Stephanie White, in her post-game interview, confirms the team looks the best when the ball is in Caitlin's hands, when she is the main decision maker, and everything revolves around her. Yet for some strange reason, in the Valkyries game yesterday, after witnessing that in real time, Stephanie White decides to change things up, slow the things down, take Caitlin out the game, and she complains that the team suddenly loses focus.
The crowds aren't packing arenas because they're eager to watch perfectly drawn plays or textbook offensive schemes. They're coming to see Caitlin Clark. For many fans, she is the system. You could swap out half the lineup with folding chairs dressed in fever jerseys, and there's a good chance the seats would still be filled. The attraction is the deep three-pointers, the creative no-look passes, and the instant energy Clark brings whenever she touches the ball. Let's be real, the booming jersey sales, the loud chants, and the enormous crowds are largely being driven by one name, Caitlin Clark.
Sophie Cunningham went on the record to basically say what I've been saying and everyone else. Give the damn ball to Caitlin. Whatever offense we running right now, it is not working. You have to give the ball to Caitlin and let Caitlin do what Caitlin has to do. Now, we done seen this formation time and time again. Now, I know some people might want to say Caitlin Clark was off the ball somewhat at Iowa. She was a little bit in years past.
This feels like more than a traditional team sport. It has become a one-player attraction centered around a generational talent. It's basketball with the energy of a Broadway production, and Caitlin Clark is somehow the lead performer, the storyteller, and the person welcoming everyone into the building. Then there's Sophie Cunningham, an accomplished player, a fearless shot maker, and someone who seems to have no problem saying exactly what's on her mind. She doesn't shy away from controversy or soften her opinions, and that's part of what makes her stand out. In a league where many players choose to stay quiet, Sophie has made it clear that she's willing to turn the volume all the way up.
It's a rough time being an Indiana Fever fan right now. Things is getting real crucial. It's real serious. We're almost 20 games into the season, and we are below 500. This is embarrassing. I would have, at the beginning of the season, I would have bet you my last breath. I would have bet my life, my house, everything, that there was a 0% chance that we would be under 500 19 games into the season. This is crazy.
Sophie Cunningham didn't step into this controversy to play the usual political game. She came ready with a verbal sledgehammer and made it obvious from the start that she had no plans to hold anything back. She isn't looking for approval from league executives, nor is she adjusting her opinions to satisfy the keep everything positive crowd. When Sophie speaks, her style is direct, unfiltered, and sharp enough to cut through all the surrounding noise. People pay attention not simply because she is outspoken, but because her comments often strike at issues many others are hesitant to address. Ask Sophie a question, and you probably won't get a carefully rehearsed, PR-friendly answer. Instead, you'll get a passionate response filled with confidence, attitude, honesty, and just enough sarcasm to make the media team nervous.
To watch a 19-point loss, Caitlin Clark's return, in which Since this is a lady we're talking about, it looks like Stephanie White has spaded Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator of offense.
Sophie Cunningham has something rare. She genuinely believes in what she says and isn't afraid to say it. While many athletes stick to rehearsed talking points, Sophie speaks with boldness, confidence, and zero filter. Her willingness to challenge the league's usual script makes her unpredictable and entertaining. She isn't trying to win a popularity contest. She's focused on basketball and willing to call out problems when she sees them. And when Sophie defends Caitlin Clark, it doesn't come across as a PR move. She seems to recognize what many fans already believe. Caitlin is the engine of the team, yet the system around her often fails to maximize her talent. Even her Lamit,
in the post-practice interviews, had this to say.
I think that everyone saw that. We kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game, and so we have to adjust. And I think all of us just want it now. We know
we had some flow. But when Caitlin's here, we need to play a different style because she's that great. That is what Sophie Cunningham just said.
Instead of building the offense around a once-in-a-generation player, it often feels like the team is trying to squeeze Caitlin Clark into a system that wasn't designed for her, as if her presence needs to be approved before she can fully take control. But Clark isn't a role player or some developmental project waiting for her turn. She's the foundation, the centerpiece, the biggest attraction, and the player capable of delivering the kind of moments that bring an entire arena to life. Sophie Cunningham has little interest in coded statements or old-school coaching hierarchies that seem stuck in another era. She sees a superstar being limited unnecessarily, and her reaction is essentially, "Not while I'm here." The moment Sophie entered the discussion, the tone completely shifted. Suddenly, it felt like everyone was looking around, wondering if there was any room left after she had said what so many others were thinking. You could almost sense the tension building among coaching circles. And let's be honest about why Sophie makes certain people uncomfortable. It isn't necessarily because she's disrespectful or deliberately confrontational. It's because she refuses to filter herself in an environment where everything seems carefully filtered. She says publicly what others might only discuss privately in group chats. She questions decisions that everyone else simply labels strategy, and she points out coaching adjustments that can sometimes look less like a structured basketball plan and more like a team trying to figure out a complicated yoga routine.
Pass. But when Caitlin Clark has become the Caitlin Clark we loved and we've grown to see, Caitlin Clark has the ball in her damn hands, bro. Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands, and she said verbatim herself that they run a read and react offense. You know what that is? The ball's in Caitlin's hand. Now, there has been a large speculation that Caitlin Clark pretty much wants to go to New York and play with Sandy Bernardello in the game.
The issue is pretty straightforward. Indiana has a Ferrari in Caitlin Clark, but they aren't driving her like one. Instead of building the entire offense around a generational talent, the team continues to limit her role while relying on an offensive system that often lacks rhythm and consistency. Sophie Cunningham isn't afraid to point that out. From her perspective, the Fever appear to be struggling with chemistry, trust, direction, and stable rotations. After 20 games, Indiana should have a clear identity, yet the team still seems to be searching for one. That makes Sophie's message bigger than simply criticizing the team's performance. She's pointing toward a leadership and coaching issue. Caitlin Clark should be the centerpiece of the offense, not treated as just another piece of the rotation. Sophie isn't necessarily trying to manufacture drama. She's demanding accountability. The Fever clearly have talent, but talent means very little when the system fails to maximize it. And until the coaching philosophy changes, Cunningham will likely continue saying what many frustrated fans are already thinking: the system needs to change.